Now, you need to have a goal, and the goal is that 80% of your time is spent on income-producing activities. So, put in simple terms, if you're working a 10-hour day, you want 8 out of those 10 hours spent on income-producing activities. That's your goal. Think it's easy to achieve? But you have to have a goal. You know, and you want to constantly be working on getting closer and closer to that. If you can spend 50% of your time on that, you'll be way ahead of the pack. You will do much more and achieve more and make more than the average agents running around out there. But that requires knowing what income-producing activities are, which we just covered, and then knowing that that's where you need to spend your time. Then you need to look at, okay, the other stuff that's taking my time, you know, how can I delegate that? You know, maybe it's time that I get an assistant. At the end of my first year, I sold 27 homes my first year, and at the end of the first year in December, because I started, you know, like in December, so basically a full year, I was like, you know, I need an assistant. This is crazy. You know, I'm doing stuff that if I wasn't doing, I could be selling more houses. So I hired an assistant. You know, for some of you, you're at that point. Some of you may not be fully at that point. That means you hire someone part-time. You know, maybe they're going to work 2 days a week for you, or 3 hours a day, or you're going to share an assistant with someone else, you know, in the market center. But if you don't have an assistant, understand you are one, and that is not the best use of your time. And a lot of people go, "Oh, I can't afford one." Well, that's one way of looking at it, but another way of looking at it is, can you afford not to? You have an opportunity in this business to make a lot of money. We have an opportunity to make more money than we should. You know, I had a dentist in my office yesterday who owns 2 very successful practices. Now, how many years do you have to go to school to be a dentist?
Well, 4 and 4, so it's
like at least 8 years, right? Which is 8 more than I had under my belt. But, you know, and I'm sure I still make more money than he does without having to go to school for 8 years. So we have an opportunity here that's huge. No one's going to hire me and pay me what I can make in real estate. I know that. You know, there aren't people walking around in this world that can do that. We have the opportunity to make more money than our clients make, you know, 9 times out of 10. But that only happens if you work smart, you work efficient, and not looking at things, you know, as expenses. And an assistant that allows you to go sell, you know, 20 or 30 or 40% more homes is not an expense. It's called an investment. All right. Now, if you hire an assistant and then you spend that time on the golf course, at the beach, shopping, then it's going to be an expense.